Remain standing.
Let us pray. Loving God, it is a joy to be gathered here today as fellow students, grads, parents, family, friends, and teachers. It is with joy and thanksgiving that we celebrate the accomplishments of these young people before us. Speak to the hearts of each of these grads, O God, that they may seek your wisdom as they decide what direction they will go in the near future. Enable them to reach out in faith and to achieve the goals they pursue. And may they feel your presence, God, and know that you will be with them always. And we ask your blessings upon these ceremonies. May we who gather here also feel your presence and be blessed by this time together. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. I'd like to thank you, Reverend Robertson, for your participation in our ceremonies. My name is Peter Blacklock, and as principal of J. Lloyd Crowe Secondary School, I am pleased to welcome parents, other family, and friends of our candidates for graduation. Graduates, this afternoon you will be receiving a certificate which indicates that you are eligible for graduation. Each of you is qualified for participation in this commencement ceremony by being eligible for either a dogwood or a school leaving certificate. It is gratifying to see so many friends, family members, and others from our community here to celebrate the achievements and to share in the joy of this afternoon. The event individuals who are seated on the platform will be introduced as they appear in our program. It seems every year as we introduce the member who is representing the Board of School Trustees, the introduction is always prefaced with how difficult and demanding and generally thankless their job is. Those who run for the positions on our school board do so with a sincere desire to improve the quality of the learning environment for every child in our school district. It is a job, especially in times of decreasing funding and enrollment, which is generally characterized by having to make very difficult decisions. Whether or not everyone always agrees with those decisions, it is important that we recognize the dedication and sincere effort members of the board bring to those decisions. Bringing greetings on behalf of our Board of School Trustees is Mrs. Gail Stockness.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the grad class of '99, parents, teachers, and friends. For most students, high school completion is not the end of a student's formal education, but an important step to further education or training. As a student, you make up 30% of our population, but you are 100% of our future, limitless in possibilities and promise. Instead of talking about education, as I am sure this weekend you have had enough people telling you what you should do now or asking, what are your plans, I am going to focus on life. Quoting Alfred D. Sousa, he said, "For a long time it has seemed to me that life was about to begin, real life. But there is also always some obstacle in the way. Something to be gotten through first, some unfinished business, time still to be served, a debt to be paid. Then life would begin." At last, it dawned on me that these obstacles were my life. This perspective shows that there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. So grads, treasure every moment that you have, and remember that time waits for no one. Stop waiting until you finish school, until you go back to school, until you lose 10 pounds, until you gain 10 pounds, until you start work, until Friday night, to decide there is no better time than right now to be happy. Don't worry about the future. The real troubles that are apt to be things that never crossed your worried mind, the kind of things that blindside you at 4 p.m. on an idle Tuesday. Don't feel guilty if you don't know what to do with your life. Some of the most interesting people we know didn't at your age know what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of the most interesting 40-year-olds still don't. One day, the president and CEO of a large company and an expert in time management was speaking to a group of business students. And to drive home a point, he used an illustration those students will never forget. The subject was big rocks of life. And I'm going to share this with you. As this man stood in front of the group of high-powered overachievers, he said, "Okay, time for a quiz." Then he pulled out a 1-gallon, wide-mouthed mason jar and set it on the table in front of him. Then he produced about a dozen fist-sized rocks and carefully placed them one at a time into the jar. When the jar was filled to the top and no more rocks would fit in, he asked, "Is this jar full?" Everyone in the class said, "Yes." Then he said, "Really?" He reached under the table and he pulled out a bucket of gravel. Then he dumped some gravel in and shook the jar, causing pieces of gravel to work themselves down into the spaces between the big rocks. Then he asked the group once more, "Is this jar full?" By this time, the class was on to him. "Probably not," one of them answered. "Good," he replied. He reached under the table and brought out a bucket of sand. He started dumping the sand in, and it went into all the spaces left between the rocks and the gravel. Once more he asked the question, "Is this jar full?" "No," the class shouted. Once again he said, "Good." Then he grabbed a pitcher of water and he began to pour it in until the jar was filled to the brim. Then he looked up to the class and asked, "What is the point of this illustration?" One eager student raised his hand and said, "The point is, no matter how full your schedule is, if you really try hard, you can always fit more things into it." "No," the speaker replied, "that is not the point. The truth this illustration teaches us is, if you don't put the big rocks in first, you'll never get them in at all." Grads, what are the big rocks in your life? Your family, your education, your dreams, others? Remember to put these big rocks in first, or you'll never get them in at all. So tonight or in the morning, when you are reflecting on this short story, ask yourself this question: what are the big rocks in my life? Then put those in your jar first. From the Board of School Trustees, we wish you our best. Thank you.
Let's just make sure. Can everybody hear? Now, that's a silly question to ask when I can't even get an answer. Is this okay, this volume right now? Yeah. Put your hand up if you can hear. That's good. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Stockmansky, for your words this afternoon and for the work of you and your fellow trustees on behalf of the students in School District 20. One of the traditions which has always characterized the Crowe ceremony is that the guest speaker must be a former member of the Crowe community. The decision as to who will speak has been the responsibility of the school administration. Last year, we broke from that tradition by asking Mr. Peter McCormick to be our speaker. Peter had a relationship with our community, but only indirectly with the school. This year, that tradition is being further changed, as the responsibility for selecting the speaker has been given to the students of the graduation class. That change was brought about by the grads themselves, who indicated that they wanted a particular person to speak to them. I was delighted by their taking on that initiative, and even more so by the person they wanted to speak to them. Mrs. Patricia Dooley, Superintendent of Schools, will now introduce our guest speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Blacklock. As Superintendent of Schools for School District Number 20, Kootenay, Columbia, I have been given the privilege of introducing this year's guest speaker at the J.L. Crowe graduation ceremonies for 1999. It has been traditional that the superintendent introduce the graduation speaker, and usually I receive a curriculum vitae, or a rather formal resume, which outlines the accomplishments and the background of the speaker. In the case of this afternoon's speaker, I choose to introduce him not from the point of view of a formal resume, but from many years of contact that I have had with him and his family, and to profile a person that is very special to the culture of J.L. Crowe Secondary School and to our school district itself. Wayne Naka applied to be the vice principal of J.L. Crowe about 4 years ago. He came to us with a background in coaching and administration and teaching and community service. My first inkling that Wayne would be the wonderful person that he is came from my knowledge and my association with Wayne's father, Tomo Naka, who I am sure is in the crowd watching his grandson graduate this afternoon. Tomo was a math teacher and administrator in Nelson when I worked there, and his office was one of my favorite ones to visit. As principal of Mount Sentinel Senior Secondary School, he was one of the best math teachers this province has ever seen, and a man who exuded enthusiasm for kids, for public education, and for life in general. I see a lot of what I respected in Wayne's father, in Wayne himself. Wayne is magical with students. He has the capacity to maintain the highest of expectations. He has the capacity to build relationships that are built on mutual respect. He is sensitive and caring and committed to whatever he takes on. When Wayne and his co-coaches and their team won this year's provincial AA basketball championship, it was a win fitting a man who expected so much and supported his players in reaching those expectations. This year, I talked to a group of graduates, and I asked them to give me some feedback on our school system. I asked them to tell me about people and learning experiences that they would never forget. And in the words of one of those students, Mr. Naka is seen as a person who, quote, does a great job of including everyone, making everyone feel special, and being a good role model for all of us, unquote. It is very special that a person who has earned the respect for his work with young people should be asked to be their graduation speaker. Guests, staff, and grads, I introduce to you a man who has done so much for our district, for J.L. Crowe School, for athletics, and for kids, Mr. Wayne Naka.
I'll get this out of the way right now. Yeah, man. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, congratulations are in order. Congratulations to the Gail Crowe class of 1999. You have all worked very hard to get here, and you've done very well. And the reason we're all gathered here today is to honor you and to wish you the very best in your life's journey. Congratulations also go to the teachers and families and friends who have supported, encouraged, and most certainly put up with you guys. You graduates have not achieved all these wonderful accomplishments by yourselves, as so very few people do these days. You cannot do it by yourselves. Today is the day for each of you sitting here on top to congratulate those who lifted you up. And perhaps the greatest congratulations of all on this day should go to the parents. So I'll ask all you graduates to stand up and turn around. Hold it. We, the parents, and I can say that today because I am also a parent of a graduate, we too have been educated by the process of your growing up. We have struggled often with the dilemma of teaching you to be independent, while knowing at the same time that you might get hurt. We have long lived with the contradiction of trying to do everything we can to protect you, while at the same time assisting you in every way to take flight on your own. As a songwriter once put it, your parents have been the wind beneath your wings. So I hope you will all join me in congratulating your parents, grandparents, and the parental figures in your lives. Okay, you can sit down now. And it's nice to see that even though you're graduates and you're big people, you're still doing what I tell you. You guys down there on the floor 20 years from now, I guarantee you, that would be 2019. You'll remember the color of your gown. You know, the ones you've been wearing all weekend? You'll remember the color of your tuxedos and the shirts and everything else that you wore. And you will also remember whatever it is you have hiding in your pocket that you are about to whip out and slide into Mr. Blacklock's hand as you receive your diploma today. Those things you'll remember. You'll also remember that silly little hat you have on, which is now sliding down your nose. But you will not remember anything about this speech. I guarantee it, and I'll ask you. You'll be scratching your head, and you'll be saying, it was some guy. Was he the MLA? Was he the superintendent of schools? Didn't he say something like, you are the future leaders of our society? Or, your generation faces a unique challenge. Or, graduation is not an ending, it's a beginning. Or was that the guy who spoke at my sister's grad? I'm not sure. With this in mind, I truly have agonized over what to say to you guys today. So here we go. I would like to begin by saying that I feel a personal affinity for all of you, the class of '99. You see, we all started together as newcomers in the fall of 1995. You came to Crowe and I came to Crowe. And we have survived 4 years more or less intact. Most of you have more of your natural hair color left than I do, although it's hard to tell on some days. But on the other hand, there is no question that amongst you all, I am still the best arm wrestler of all. Now I gotta find my place. I believe it is very, very safe to say that Gail Crowe has had a major impact on your life and on mine, an influence that will endure for the rest of our lives. For the past 2 weeks, I've been thinking about the nature of Gail Crowe and trying to understand the meaning that it holds for us and maybe the meaning that it holds for you guys. Like, what is Gail Crowe? What's the meaning of this place? We've been here for so long. Of the 8 different schools, in 8 different school districts I have taught in over the past 24 years, Crowe has been the largest school I've worked in by quite a bit. It is quite hard to capture the essence of large institutions. They tend not to be distinctive, especially in personality. From the outside to a casual observer, I have heard this often, and I've also read it in newspapers, that Crowe is described as impersonal, indifferent, and simply concerned with getting all you guys through graduation. During my very short stay here, I have found Gail Crowe, despite its huge size, to be anything but that. This is a place of imagination, of creativity, definitely anti-establishment, and of soul. There is a spirit here that is innovative, thoughtful, academic, brotherly, and distinctively Crowe. When I think of Crowe's spirit, I think of all the flack we took 4 years ago about our mediocre provincial exam results. I think of the resolve of our staff to do something about it, the plan put in place, and the willingness of students to work towards achieving a higher level. I think of the news reports 4 years later, placing Gail Crowe amongst the most improved academic institutions in the province. You grads of 1999, you have been a huge part of this spirit. When I think of Gail Crowe's spirit, I think of all the pictures hanging on the wall, the paintings, the sculptures, the wooden projects, the metal projects, the racing cars, the web pages, dramatic performances, musical productions, spirit assemblies, and athletic triumphs. When you and I first arrived here, we were urged to get involved, make things happen, produce better results. Class of 1999, you have been very active. You have accomplished a great deal. I believe you have become worthy heirs of earlier generations of Crowe students, and you will be distinguishable as a Crowe grad wherever you go. When I think of Crowe's spirit, I think of the goat trails, the field house, the smoke holes, the gym bleachers, the stairways, the cafeteria, the foyer, the upper halls, the heat registers, the places all you guys hung out. Some of you outgrew one place, you moved on to another. Some of you guys stayed in the same place the entire 4 years. Some of you frequented all of those places. The Crowe tradition of hanging out, being a certain age, being allowed to hang out here or here, that was not lost on me. When I think of the Crowe spirit, I think of the Crowe. You know, the one that keeps disappearing? The one that disappeared mysteriously from the office last year, and from the glass case the year before, and so on and so on and so on. Only you Crowe grads and the ones before you would ever pay so much attention to something I don't even care about. Do the perpetrators who now have the Crowe hiding in his bedroom really think I don't know where it is? I could go on forever when I think about Crowe spirit, but I think you understand the meaning of what it has come to hold for me. Who gives Crowe this unique character I'm talking about? Who gives it to us? Some of it comes from Peter Blacklock, the gatekeeper. And although you people down there have all gone, oh yeah, that Blacklock, and you staff out there have gone, oh, that Blacklock, He has been the one who has supported us all. When we've come to and asked him, he's very often, very rarely said no. And yet he says no to begin with, just to scare you, just to make sure that you really are well planned. But he has been supportive of all of us. Some of that character comes from our staff. I think of the adults, the mind molders, the innuendo brothers, teachers in Halloween costumes, coaches, a staff full of unpredictability, originality, and some great character. I think of the innovation and the risks that all you adults take in our building, and the deep sense of academic urgency that is expressed regularly, just to keep me especially, and all the rest of us in check. You adults in our building, you have given us a distinctive character. And although you think things are a little too wild at times, you are a character of Crowe. But for all the time I've been in Crowe, 4 years, I submit to you that the essence of Crowe's character is you, the students. Your brothers and sisters who graduated before you, your mums and dads who graduated before them. During your time here, you have helped define the character of Crowe by your growing independence, your diligence, and the energy you have brought to everything that you do at Crowe. You bring an original quality that makes JL Crowe, in my mind, unique among all the other schools in this province. When a fellow student was burned last month, you showed generosity and thoughtfulness. We raised $800 in a matter of days by all sorts of different people running around with a jar collecting pennies, quarters, nickels, and the $100 I put in there. This is not the first time I have seen these qualities in your action. There have been many other examples of your thoughtfulness during my time here. Please hold on to that thoughtfulness. The world needs that character that many of you have developed over the past few years. The ability to distinguish right from wrong and then to act upon it. So you see, during your years here, you have demonstrated that it is possible to be learned, thoughtful, and to make things happen, and to uphold the spirit and character of JL Crowe as I have seen it. There is a distinct meaning to this place. I have seen it. Hey man, am I making sense so far? Now that congratulations have been made, some perceptions have been offered about your time being spent here, I know that I am now obliged by tradition to offer you some words of wisdom as you commence your adult lives. When the time comes in your life, when you sit there and you are so happy with what's going on, and you feel that it's the very, very best time you've ever had and things could not get any better, you have that feeling. If you haven't experienced it yet, when you do, remember this is what you do. Because during your life, you're going to find some times when you think things couldn't get any better. And I want you to hold on to those things. And when those times happen, you go like this. But I'll try to be a little bit more serious in my wisdom as you commence. I live by one thing. So here it is to you for all of your lives. If you don't do what is deep inside your soul, if you don't do it, you do so at your own peril. One more time. If you don't do what is deep inside your soul, you do so at your own peril. This means simply, you should follow a course in your life that is most exciting and challenging for you. If it's important to you and it brings you the greatest personal and professional satisfaction, follow it, and everyone will benefit. You ask yourself, oh yeah, how do I do that? There are many, many ways. What should I do to find out what is deep inside my soul on my life's journey ahead? Well, you should do everything. But let me suggest just a few ideas to get you going. Number one, decision making. The very next time you have a decision to make about a choice you have to make, take a step back and do the following. Look at both choices carefully. Listen to your intuition. You know, your intuition is that one where you're sort of thinking, yeah, I should do that. In the meantime, you got all this overriding noise going on in your head saying, you should do this, you should do that. The intuition is the little wee voice talking to you. Yeah, do that, man. And see how each one of those choices feels to you. You know, your gut feeling. Try this as many times as you think is necessary. Don't think something through. Feel it through. If you do this, one of those two choices is going to give you a feeling of relief and of confidence. It will have a heart. That, my friends, is the direction you should take. Travel. Number two. In my time with you grads here, I have sat and read with some of you in an old-growth temperate rainforest on the west coast of British Columbia. I have paddled with some of you in kayaks in 10-foot ocean seas. I have written journals with some of you under a palm tree on a small Caribbean island 12 degrees north of the equator. Yeah, man. I rode the roller coaster with some of you at the West Edmonton Mall. In each of those places, I saw some of you look at yourselves and your home with a different perspective, with new eyes. Some of you have already experienced a fresh vision and maybe a bit better understanding about who you really are by stepping outside your present world. So travel. Travel anywhere. And three, temporary setbacks. As you follow what is deep inside your soul, and I hope you will have the odd bumps and failures. When this happened, and I guarantee you it will happen, take some time to reflect on what you're doing, learn from your failures, and get on with it. You have all heard the story about Michael Jordan being cut from his high school team. His failure, just like yours, in the future are, in reality, temporary setbacks while following what is deep inside your soul. Many years ago, 20, when I was trying to become this kind of guy who was going to coach in the National Hockey League, because I had a dream, I had a 17-year-old who came up with 7 or 8 other 17-year-olds from Vancouver to try out for my junior hockey team in Kelowna. And they came from a very, very good hockey team. They all came to Kelowna. They wanted to play junior hockey in Kelowna. So we went through training camp and da-da-da-da-da-da. And of these 5 kids that all came from the same great hockey team, I picked 4 of them, who were definitely 4 great hockey players. And I was feeling kind of badly because one of them was going to get left out and have to go home. So I brought him in and I talked to him. I said, hey, man, your 4 friends we're keeping. You're not ready. I don't think you're ready. You're overweight. You're not in shape. You need to go home and work on your game and come back next year, and maybe things will be different. But you seriously need to get more in shape and become a better hockey player before you can play junior hockey. And it was a very sad thing because he was leaving behind his friends who are now going to be in Kelowna, living away from home, having a good time playing junior hockey. So that kid did go home. He worked on his game and he lost 40 pounds, and he came back the next year. He didn't come to Kelowna. He was still mad at me from the year before. He went to Penticton. And he made that team. And he played that year, and we beat him that year. But the next year after that, they killed us. He scored 106 goals. And he's still playing today. In fact, he's playing on TV today. That guy's name would be Brett Hull. Yeah, and it's Just amazing how he's gone from where he was many, many years ago to where he is now. And he had setbacks. He had to go home. You will have those too. They are just temporary setbacks. There's 3 for you to think about. Oh, I also wanted to put my 2 cents worth in about money, and I'm just about done. But money. 60 of you I taught in grade 9. And I can remember giving you this little assignment. What do you want to do in the future? Da, da, da. You know that one you give out at the beginning of the year because, like, I'm not totally prepared yet, so I give you a sheet of paper. Tell me what you want to do when you're in your future type thing, you know, like where do you want to be 10 years from now? The prevailing thought at that time in grade 9, and I've heard it probably 10 times from many of you, and I know that a lot of you are really caught up with money, big houses, and toys. Money, big houses, toys. When I get there, I'm going to have a big house, lots of money, and lots of toys. And you never realize that I kept telling you, in the van down by the river, man, that's where it's at. No, you wanted big houses, money, and toys. If you end up doing what you love, if you do, you will have a very rich life. If you do whatever you do in the future simply for money, you might go broke. And then guess what? You will have nothing. And you know what's worst of all? If you get all the money and all the houses and all the toys and still have nothing. Do not let that happen. It's like the executive, the big-time businessman who felt so unfulfilled. I climbed to the top of the ladder, he said. I'm a big-wig executive. I've made it to the top. And suddenly I turned around and I found my ladder was up against the wrong wall. Grads of 1999, I urge you to do this. Find the wall that makes sense to you. The one that truly turns your crank, and climb it. That's what I'd do. In closing, grads of 1999, let me end by expressing my appreciation for the very, very deep honor which you have bestowed upon me to speak to your class. I am indeed going to miss you. Your spirit, your character, have left a mark on me I will carry forever. I hope you will come back and visit regularly, and when you do, trust that my door is always open. Congratulations, class of 99.
Mr. Naka, on behalf of the grad class of 1999, we would like to thank you for honoring us as our guest speaker.
You have helped each one of us in some way throughout the year, and we are lucky to have known you. Thanks, man.
The highlight of the ceremonies for each candidate is the presentation of the certificate. The presentation of this certificate means more than simply being a part of the class of 1999. We have reviewed report cards and the programs of each student to ensure that each student you meet this afternoon is really a candidate to graduate. A number of the members of this class will return to school in September or will be taking correspondence courses to complete their graduation requirements, and so will qualify for a later presentation ceremony. A number of the students you will meet this afternoon have returned to school this year to complete their requirements. The certificates we present are not proof of graduation, because that status can only be granted by the Ministry of Education, but they are nonetheless evidence of accomplishment. I call upon Melissa Wallace and Megan Peterson, co-presidents of our graduation class, to receive their certificates and then to announce the names of their fellow candidates. Mrs. Dooley and Mr. Naka will present the certificates and congratulate the candidates. Megan Peterson.
Sure. Melissa Wallace. I would now like to call upon David Abenanti. Raymond Acton. Robin Acton. Jeffrey Adey. Yep. Tim Adey.
Dean Amatea. Amanda Anderson. Ian Arnott. Timothy Ashman. Richard Allen.
Bill Batt. And Lauren Bay is unable to attend because she has left this morning to represent Canada in the Junior Girls National Softball team playing in Taiwan. Dean Bouchard. David Bender. Ryan Benner.
Patricia Barakoff. Kate Belinky. Sarah Bingham. Davy Bizarro. Tristan Blackwood.
Rebecca Versado. Robert Versado. Hannah Bowles. Lucian Boyce. Kimberly Boys.
Amanda Brewis. Nathan Brown. Jessica Brownrigg. Terry Bublitz. Marlise Burke.
Brooke Bursa. Marcia Campbell. Joel Capoletto. Teresa Carrerio. Sandra Channing.
Jamie Chaco. Angela Cherniak. Daniel Daniel Coletti, Amanda Calhoun, Amy Connell,
Katie Capello, Angela Dahl, Andrew Dawson, Chad Deering, Danielle Decline,
Andrew Delbucchia, Justin De Oliveira, Jocelyn DeRosa, Gabrielle DeRosier, Danielle Doig,
Christina Douglas, Jennifer Drennan, Clay Duclos, Jade Earthy, Andrew East,
Jennifer Eccles, Brooklyn Edwards, Dana Iwankiw, Tina Farmelo, Liz Ferguson,
Sarah Ferrerio, Nikki Farrow, Michael Fiala, Kristen Flegel, Rowena Flores,
Jason Fontaine, Jennifer Fontaine, Jamie Fricky, Jennifer Fricky, Glenn Galbraith,
Jesse Grayson, Chad Grzeski, Teresa Hall, Lisa Hammond, Derek Harkima,
Jennifer Hartman, Courtney Hillier, Eli Hubsher, Randy Ikeda, Lourdes Jimenez,
Alice Johnson. Tara Johnson. Carrie Jones. Jay Caprell. Amita Kular.
Ryan King. Shiloh Coity. Amy Kotick. Stacy Kuchar. Joshua Kilbaba.
Danny Kushner. Justin Kyle. Nylan Lafreniere. Kylie Lakefold. Lauren Langell.
Matthew Langell. Nicole Langell. Sabrina Lankar. Brody Leonard. Michelle Lapine.
Louise Lassard. Erica Lewin. Rachel Lewis. Victor Lang. James Livingston.
Sarah Logan. Nicole Ludwar. Neil McWana. Sandy Mangat. Melissa Manning.
Jennifer Markey. Jason Marguerite. Jamie Martin. Elaine Mathen. Patrick McAteer.
Justin McIntosh. Aaron McLean. Jesse McMahon. Darcy McQuiggan. Taryn McCrae.
Tammy Meeks. Jerry Ray Myers. Joey Miller. Derek Milne. Jason Milne.
Lindsay Moore. Kathleen Moda. Ross Naka. Melissa Nelson. Ryan Niminikin.
Trevor Orlando. Angelica Oral. Casey Osmond. Abby Parasato. Grace Partridge.
Lonnie Pianalzola. Kimberly Pistak. Nicholas Plamondon. Jamie Pompou. Shannon Price.
Baljinder Rahal. Christine Ranaseth. Stephanie Ryder. Steve Remming. Ryan Rhodes.
Chad Rideout. Amy Rieberger. Jeremy Robinson. Jason Rohn. Amanda Rosa.
Chad Santori. Tracy Santori. Aaron Schimpf. Kristen Shannon. Tanya Sherstavidov.
Tyler Shipowich. Mickey Sidhu. Jerry Simpson. Corey Simpson. Vanessa Smart.
Dean Smith. Melissa Smythe. Dean Somerset. Amy Sovereign. Tanya Stats.
Lisa Stack. Larissa Stanton. Rachel Steck. Rory Steep. Charlotte Suddy.
Jocelyn Zigathy. Ruth Taylor. Stephen Taylor. Jenny Thomas. Ryan Thompson.
Tommy Chater. Bill Van Beek. Lisa Venturini. Lisa Verbeek. Christy Volpatti.
Joey Ward. Darren Weeks. Albert Weeks. Lindsay Weldon. Crystal Wheeler.
Kelly Wersch. Amy Wolf. Sarah Worley.
Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 1999.
As the face of education changes, schools are reaching into the community more and more for support and assistance in preparing students for the reality of life beyond the classroom. We are thankful for the partnerships which have made it possible for our students to get work experience, to our business people for spending time at our school and the interview projects. We're proud of our students for the work they have done in volunteer activities. One of the major components of the support of the community comes in the form of bursaries and scholarships generously donated to assist in the financial burden of post-secondary schooling. We appreciate the businesses, community groups, and individuals whose caring makes possible the awards, which will now be presided over by Mrs. Olga McLean and Mr. Neil Fricke.
Thank you very much. We'd just like to let you know that as time goes on, things change. Mrs. McLean and I have been doing this for a lot of years now, and we both decided it's the stage where we have to use glasses. So bear with us as we take them on and off. On behalf of Mrs. McLean and myself, it's a pleasure to take part in the presentation of scholarships and award. The people seated on the stage are here today to recognize and reward those members of the class of 1999 who have displayed leadership abilities, academic excellence, exceptional vocational and avocational skills, and have demonstrated a high quality of performance encompassing the broader educational offerings of the school. We are very proud of the achievements of all of the students of the class of 1999. In addition to today's presentations, many of our graduates have been and will be awarded entrance scholarships to numerous post-secondary institutions for excellence in academics and/or athletics. Congratulations to each one of these students. This group represents 74 community contributors or organizations for a total of 133 awards and scholarships. These awards will be distributed to 88 members of the graduating class. The scholarships, awards, and prizes have a total value of $47,000. It will be our pleasure to announce the presenter and the winner of each award. Category 1. The awards in Category 1 are given for service to the school and community or to an organization, and also includes athletics. Our first award, Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Trail, presented to a graduate for outstanding contribution to cultural unity. Mrs. Elizabeth Edwards will present to Dallas Johnson. Catholic Women's League of Trail and Warfield in honor of St. Marguerite Bourgeois, presented to a student who has contributed to school life and is continuing education in the humanities. Mrs. Elizabeth Citra will present to Lourdes Jimenez. The Fruitvale Co-op Fred Haynes Memorial Bursary presented to a Beaver Valley student active in community affairs who is going on to post-secondary education. I would ask Mrs. Libby East to present to Patrick McAteer. Our Dry Grad Committee presented to grade 12 students who have been active in the school community. Mrs. Rhonda Kahn and Mrs. Laurel Moore will present to Melissa Wallace and Megan Peterson. Roslyn Trail Minor Hockey Awards, presented to a student continuing education who has participated in hockey. Ms. Christine Marsh will present to Bill Van Beek. Trail Beaver Valley Minor Soccer Clubs, presented to a student who has been active in the association and is continuing education. Mr. Wayne Naka will present to Darcy McQuiggan.
The Saran Family Award, presented to a student for community services, Mrs. Narinder Saran will make this presentation to Sandy Mangat. Trail Slow Pitch League, presented to a student who excels in athletics and consistently displays good sportsmanship. Ms. Christine Marsh will make this presentation to Tristan Blackwood. Trail Gyro Club, 2 awards. The Ron Gaskell Memorial Award, presented to a girl who has worked hard and participated fully in school activities, and the Tony Flanagan Memorial Award, presented to a boy who has worked hard and participated fully in school activities. Mr. Sandy Di Pasquale will make these awards to Lourdes Jimenez and Ross Naka. Columbia Beverages, presented to an all-around athlete. Mr. Don Tingley will make this presentation to Jennifer Fricky. The Beaver Valley Lions Club, 2 awards, presented to students from Beaver Valley who have worked hard, shown good citizenship, and are continuing their education. Mr. John McCassell will make these presentations to Kristen Flagel and Crystal Wheeler. Caron Source for Sports Award, presented to a top male and a top female athlete continuing education. Mr. Don Tingley will make these awards, and they will be received by Mr. Wayne Naka because they go to John Boateng and Lauren Bay, both of whom have sports commitments which have meant that they are not able to be with us today. The Travis Berg Nolan Oatway Memorial Scholarships, presented to students pursuing further education with a background in sports. And this presentation will be made by Mrs. Willie Ferguson Plummer to Melissa Manning and Christine Ranaseth.
Ford Scholarship, 2 awards presented to students who are good in their academics and participate also in sports. Mr. Dan Ashman will present to Kylie Lakefold and Sarah Ferrario. We now go on to Category 2. This category of awards and scholarships recognize achievement in specific areas. The Monty Brothers Senior Memorial Award, presented to an outstanding Auto Mechanics 12 student. Mrs. Willie Ferguson Plummer will present to Aaron Schimpf. The IODE Arthur Chapman Chapter 1 award, presented to a deserving student continuing education, and 4 industrial education awards. Those awards are in electronics, machine shop, construction, and auto mechanics. Mrs. H. Lamoureux will present to Davy Bizero, Clay Duclos, Richard Allen, Jeffrey Adey, and Aaron Schimpf. The Gary Morissette Memorial, presented to a student proficient in auto mechanics who is continuing education or taking an apprenticeship. Mr. Gary Morissette will present to Aaron Schimpf. The Mystery Di Pasquale Award, presented to a student proficient in music. Mr. Sandy Di Pasquale will present to Elaine Mathen.
The Miles Family Music Award, presented to a student continuing in vocal and stage. Ms. Lindsay Fraser will make this presentation to Hannah Bowles. The Fred Orlando Bursary, presented to a student graduating from J. Lloyd Crowe and continuing in the field of music or fine arts. Mr. Peter Blacklock will make this presentation to Corey Simpson. The James M. Cameron Memorial, presented to an outstanding student in creative writing for exceptional work in that area. Mrs. Dorothy Cameron will make this presentation to Patty Barakoff. The Dole Photo Award, presented to a student who is planning further education in the visual arts area. Mrs. Audrey Dole will make this presentation to Tanya Shestabitov. The Pasquale Charlie Cerdulo Memorial Music Scholarship, presented to a top student in a music program who is continuing in the field of music. Ms. Maria Cerdulo will make this presentation to Amanda Anderson. The IODE James H. Schofield Chapter, 2 awards presented to grade 12 students proceeding to further education, and 2 awards presented to grade 12 commerce students of achievement and promise. Mrs. Mary Dabner will make these presentations to Erica Lewin, Jocelyn DeRosa, Jennifer Markey, and Josh Kobaba. Thank you. The Trail Art Club Vanderlick Memorial Scholarship, presented to a student of promise continuing training in the field of art. Mrs. Pearl Massey will make this presentation to Shannon Price. Suppliers and Dealers Association, presented to a student advanced in the area of construction. Mr. Wayne Naka will present this to Derek Milne.
Trailland District Community Arts Council, presented to 2 students who excel in any field of art for further study in arts. Ms. Tracy Jones will present to Amanda Brewis and Grace Partridge. The Dr. Ellen McLean Stefanelli Award, presented to a woman with the highest scholastic average planning to proceed to further education in the sciences. Mr. Phil Malloy will present to Courtney Hillier. McEwen, Harrison and Company, presented to a student showing aptitude in English literature. Mr. William Westcott will present to Sarah Bingham. The John Vink Computer Science Award, presented to a student continuing studies in computer science who demonstrates a strong passion and ability for developing software. Mrs. Marie Louise Green would like to present to Justin De La Vera. The Andy Beliski Award, presented to a student who played baseball in Trail Little League. Mr. Brent Beatty, present to Nathan Brown. Schneider's Building Supplies Limited, presented to two deserving students for further education at a technical school or enrolling in an apprenticeship in the area of construction, metalwork, or woodwork. Mrs. Willie Ferguson Plummer will present to Derek Milne and Nylan Lafreniere. Category 3. These scholarships and awards are to recognize overall achievement. This year, there is no special award recognizing the top student at this time. Our top academic student will be recognized with the Governor General's Academic Medal, and that's presented in September. Okay, the Past President's Club, FOE Auxiliary, presented to an academic student, son, daughter of a member of FOE Auxiliary going on to further study. Mrs. Polly LaRose would present to Amanda Brewis.
Sigma Phi Area Council Scholarship, presented to a student continuing education at a post-secondary institution. Ms. Doreen Campbell will make this presentation to Stephanie Ryder. The San Martino Club, presented to two students, sons or daughters of a member continuing on to further education. Mr. John McCasso will present these to Lauren Bay and Amy Sovereign. And Amy, we are asking her to accept on Lauren's behalf, as Lauren is not with us today. The Eileen Lee Memorial Award, presented to a grade 12 student continuing education. Mrs. Marie Louise Green will present this to Terry Bublitz. Local 480, United Steelworkers of America, 5 awards, 2 bursaries presented to grade 12 students who intend to pursue post-secondary education, and 3 scholarships to dependents of Local 480 members who are continuing their education. Mr. Glenn Skyle will present these awards to Dean Somerset, Shiloh Coide, Marlise Burke, Amy Sovereign, and Amanda Rosa. Beaver Valley Rotary Club, presented to a deserving graduate, resident of Beaver Valley, who is continuing education. Mr. Victor Citra will make this presentation to Erica Lewin. The Kootenai Columbia Administrators Association, the Terry Demchuk Award, presented to a student continuing in environmental studies, athletics, or the teaching area. Mr. Mario Macri will make this presentation to Ross Naka. The Sylvia Civitores Memorial, presented to a girl dedicated to helping others, preferably one entering a helping profession. Ms. Christine Marsh will make this presentation to Marcia Campbell.
Order of the Royal Purple, Trail Lodge number 15, presented to a student entering teaching. Mrs. Marie Steep, present to Jennifer Eccles. The Grads of 1979 Memorial Scholarship, presented to a worthy student continuing their education. Mrs. Deirdre Santesso will present to two students, Dallas Johnson and Lisa Hammond. The Italo-Canadese Society presented to the best overall student, son or daughter of a member, going on to post-secondary education. Mrs. Giridi will present to Katie Capello. The May Partridge Memorial Scholarship Fund, presented to a student continuing education. Mrs. Mary Dabner will present to Ross Naka. Fruitvale Senior Citizens Branch number 44, presented to a student from the Beaver Valley who is continuing education. Mrs. Becky Crandallmere will present to Crystal Wheeler. The Kevin Malloy Memorial Scholarship, presented to a graduate of St. Michael's School who is continuing training of at least 2 years duration. Mr. Philip Malloy will present to Victor Liang. CUPE Local 1285 Scholarship, presented to a son or daughter of a member who is continuing education. Mr. Norm Wolf will present to Amy Connell. Fraternal Order of the Eagles Auxiliary number 2838, presented to a student, son or daughter of a member of the auxiliary that is going on to further education. Mrs. Dawn Hay will present to Taryn McRae. Sisters of Colombo, presented to a grade 12 student for scholastic achievement. They must be a son or daughter of a member of the Sisters of Colombo. Ms. Loriana Gilchrist will present to Jennifer Fricky.
Shoppers Drug Mart, presented to a grade 12 student, preferably one considering pharmacy or health sciences. Mrs. Deirdre Santesso will make this presentation to Neil McWana. Beaver Valley Communications Bursary, presented to a math student of Promise Continuing Education. Mr. Brent Beattie will make this presentation to Shannon Price. The Girl Guides Columbia Division Scholarship, presented to a deserving student who has been a member of the Girl Guides for at least 5 years. Mrs. Carolyn Fines will make this presentation to Jocelyn Zigathy. Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elk Scholarship, presented to a high-ranking student continuing education. Mr. Harry Stanton will make this presentation to Crystal Wheeler. The Grads of 99 awards. 5 awards to students with high academic standing. Mrs. Libby East will present these awards to Kristen Flegel, Courtney Hillier, Jennifer Markey, Elaine Mathen, and Kathleen Mota. The Trail Kiwanis Memorial Scholarship, presented to a grade 12 student continuing training. Mr. Don Tingley will make this presentation to Dallas Johnson. Local 9705, United Steelworkers of America, presented to students continuing education. Mrs. Donna Backus will present these awards to Jesse Grayson and Justin D'Olivera.
Kootenai Savings Credit Union, 4 bursaries presented to deserving grade 12 students who are continuing education or training. Mrs. Rochelle Magoon will present to Shannon Price, Courtney Hillier, Jennifer Markey, and Marlise Burke. Kootenai Columbia Teachers Union, 2 awards presented to graduates who are continuing education. Mrs. Deirdre Santesro will present to Erica Lewin and Ryan Rhodes. The Benjamin Baldwin Memorial Award, presented to a student pursuing training in the area of animal technology, veterinary medicine, wildlife recreation, or education. Mr. Brent Beattie will present to Christina Douglas. Fraternal Order of the Eagles Area number 2838 Trail, 2 scholarships presented to students who are children, grandchildren, or dependents of members of 2838 and are continuing education. Mr. Laurie Hay will present to Marlise Burke and Amanda Calhoun.
Canadian Legion, number 11 Trail, 6 bursaries presented to students going on to post-secondary education. Mr. Henry de la Forêt will make these presentations to Shiloh Coide, Jessie Grayson, Amanda Cahoon, Jamie Chaco, Amanda Bruce, and Hannah Bowles. Thank you. Students' Council, J. Lloyd Crowe Secondary School, 4 scholarships presented to members of the Student Association who are continuing post-secondary education. Mr. Ken LaRose and Ms. Diana Perry will make these presentations to Shannon Price, Melissa Nelson, Dean Amantea, and Tracy Santori.
Columbia Teachers Union presented to children of members of the KCTU who are proceeding to further education. Mrs. Deidre Santesso will present these awards to Katie Capello, Andrew East, Dana Wanku, Kristen Flagel, Jennifer Fricky, and Elaine Mathen. The Peggy Levine Memorial Award presented to 3 worthy students. Mrs. Willie Ferguson Plummer will present to Danielle Doig, Charlotte Suddy, and Trevor Orlando. The Cristoforo Colombo Lodge, 2 scholarships presented to children of members continuing to post-secondary education. Mr. John McCassell would like to present to Amy Sovereign and David Abenati. The Dr. Hugh Campbell Memorial Award, presented to a student in continuing education in the field of health science and medicine. Mr. Peter Blacklock will present this award to Elaine Mathen. Utilicorp United Incorporated, a parent company of West Kootenai Power, 2 scholarships, 1 to a student entering university and 1 to a student entering a college or trade institute. Mr. Forrest Drinnen will present to Jocelyn DeRosa and Vanessa Smart.
Selkirk College Award, presented to a student planning to attend Selkirk College who exemplifies leadership qualities and excellence in their program of studies. Mr. Bill Trujillo will make this presentation to Tim Ashman. The Dick Nelson Scholarship, presented to a student who shows care for the people and for the community. Mr. Wayne Naka will make this presentation to Gabrielle de Rosier. Cominco Limited, 2 awards presented to students not eligible for the Cominco Higher Education Awards, therefore for students whose parents are not Cominco employees. Mrs. Marie-Louise Green will make these presentations to Jennifer Markey and Justin D'Oliveira. Fidelity Lodge number 32, AF and AM, 2 awards, 1 male and 1 female, presented to high-achieving students. These awards may be extended through 4 years of study if their grades are maintained. Mr. Dennis Coons will make this presentation to Sarah Bingham and Victor Liang. The Certified General Accountants of BC, presented to a student considering a career in accounting or in business. Mrs. Brenda Jagpal will make this presentation to Jamie Martin. For further education. The Parents Advisory Committee presented to students who are continuing their education. Mr. Wayne Naka, Mrs. Willie Ferguson-Plummer, Mr. Peter Blacklock will make these presentations. Oh, it's just Mr. Naka. That's good. 2, Vanessa Smart, Louise Lessard, Andrew Delbukia, Randy Ikeda, Christy Volpetti, Ryan Thompson, Jamie Pompu, Brooke Bursall, Baljinder Rahal, and Glenn Galbraith. And our last scholarship of the afternoon, the Columbia Powers Corporation, presented to a student who demonstrates a real desire to excel. Mr. Peter Blacklock will make this presentation to Megan Peterson. The organization and selection process that brings together all the community contributors and grad recipients is very lengthy. We would like to thank the many people at the school who spend countless hours in bringing this process to its successful conclusion. We would especially like to thank the Scholarship Committee and Mrs. Pye and all the office staff for the hard work in preparation for these scholarships and awards. Thank you also to the donor organizations and representatives here today for their continued support of our scholarship program. To the grads of 1999, we offer our congratulations and our best wishes for the future. Mr. Chairman, this completes the scholarship and awards presentation. Thank you.
The honor of being selected class valedictorian to deliver the parting address on behalf of the graduates is indeed a very special honor. This year, the graduating class has bestowed this honor on Justin de Oliveira, who has been taking deep breaths for the last couple of minutes, so we know he's ready. Justin, we're looking forward to hearing your words.
Thank you. Greetings, teachers, honored guests, parents, and fellow graduates. I am honored to be standing here today as a representative of the graduation class of 1999. Grads, we finally made it. This day signifies the end of a 13-year journey on which we have learned many lessons in the classroom and many lessons in life. This day also marks the beginning of a whole new era for us. Very soon, we will venture out into the real world to apply the knowledge and experience we have gained. Strange, isn't it? It seems like just yesterday, we were all little grade 8 students wandering around, small fish in a big pond. Who would have thought that 5 years could have passed so quickly? But 5 years is 5 years. During that time, we have all become close friends and all matured into young adults. High school has been a total learning experience for me, as I'm sure it has been for all of my classmates. Inside and outside the school, we have all faced hardships and obstacles we thought were insurmountable. Growing up in this day and age is not easy, but we have all shown courage and determination and have made it here today. Through the years, we have learned many important lessons and developed our own perspectives on life. My philosophy about life is this: what goes around comes around, and your future is what you make it to be. I have learned that if you show kindness and respect to friends, colleagues, and strangers, that kindness will be returned to you in some shape or form. I also know that it is up to you to see that your future is what you want it to be. No one can ensure it but you. You are 100% responsible for yourself. I don't think any of us would be here today if it weren't for the support of our teachers. They provided us with the strength and guidance needed and were always there for us. Whether it was offering extra help or chaperoning a school dance, we could count on them. We are also deeply indebted to our parents for their understanding, their support, and their love. They have been with us through thick and thin. They have endured the ups and downs that come with raising a teenager. I come from a family of 4 children and a single mother. My father passed away when I was very young and left my mother with the task of raising and supporting all of us. It was not easy at times, but my mother was always there when I needed her. All of us have gone through rough times in our lives, and our parents have done their best to see that we make it through. Parents, you are always the first to congratulate and encourage us. You have never expected anything in return. That unconditional love has enabled us to get here today. We are grateful and love you very much, more than words can express. This is a joyous day for all, but we also share a feeling of sorrow. The days of our youth seem to be ending. Through the years, we have shared so much. Times of happiness, full of pleasant memories, when we didn't have a care in the world. Even though these times are over, they will always be cherished and never be forgotten. For many of us, these are the last times that we will spend with one another. You can rest assured, though, we will always remain connected by a unique bond that sets our class apart from all others. The road ahead is not an easy one, fellow graduates. It will be our task as future members of this society to work toward making this world a better place. In closing, I wish all of you the very best as we approach the new millennium. I hope that all of our dreams and ambitions come true. Just remember, though, dreams and ambitions are just that. You must transform them into goals and chart a pathway to achieve them. This is the key to succeeding. There's an old cliche that I'm sure you've all heard, and it goes something like this: the best is always saved for last. Class of '99, you have been the very best. Thank you, and God bless.
The rest of the future leaders of our society are as well-spoken and as well-intentioned and as strong a leader as Justin. We are all in excellent hands. Thank you for a very well-done speech. We're now close to the end of the commencement ceremony. To commence means to begin, to start, and that is what each of you will be doing very soon. I have this image of each of you heading off down the road of life with a ladder banging over your shoulder, looking for just the right wall to set it against. But whatever wall that is, as Mr. Naka said, make it the right one. It's one of the many times of change you will face, and I hope as that you move out to wherever your future takes you, that you will take with you the unchanging things that have been so very important to you to this point in time. Your family, the values of contributing to your community and making it a better place, the values of helping your neighbor will never change, and we hope that these values are now a part of you. To say goodbye to our graduates, we must also say goodbye to a number of other members of our school community. Mr. Henry DeRosa will be retiring this year, as will our dedicated custodian, Mildred Nedlick. Mrs. Ferguson Plummer is heading to Sunningdale, where she will be principal, and we are looking forward to adding Mr. Wayne Florco to our administrative team next year. We'll also be losing Mr. Frank Santesso, who, while he has not been a part of teaching at the Crowe for the last couple of years, has been assigned to our staff and was to be returning to our school this year. Frank has accepted a position, a director's position, with the BCTF in Vancouver, and will be working out of the Lower Mainland. Mr. Santesso's abilities have been a large part of the successful amalgamation of our two school districts, and I know that his talents will serve us well as he will now work on behalf of education on a larger scale. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our whole school community, I sincerely thank the platform guests for their individual and collective contributions in making these presentation ceremonies a memorable one for our graduates. A very special thanks to you, Wayne, for being our guest speaker. Congratulations. Go ahead. You can do that. Go ahead. Congratulations at this time to Megan and Melissa and all members of the grad committee. Thanks to Libby East and Christine Marsh, their advisors, for the time and effort throughout the year. Thanks also to Janice and Lindsay Partridge for the huge investment of time which went into the memory walk of last evening, which I'm sure will be a model that future classes will want to continue. Thanks to all of the parents who worked long hours decorating the gymnasium for the prom and for the memory walk. And thanks to Rhonda Kahn and Laurel Moore and all the parents involved in the dry grad for their tireless efforts in working to keep our children safe. In time of increasing economic difficulty, we sincerely thank those donor organizations, businesses, and individuals whose scholarships and bursaries provide an incentive for our students to strive for excellence. The school community and the recipients in particular, thank you for your support. Thanks to Mr. Grant Freeman, the members of the J. Lloyd Crowe Band for their participation in these ceremonies. To the J.L. Crowe Scholarship Committee, thank you for the hours of deliberation and consideration which has gone into the allocation of the various bursaries and scholarships. Sincere thanks to Holly Pye, Gail Seifert, and Donna Pryor, the Crowe office staff, and to Steve Morissette and the district maintenance staff for their assistance. The success of any major undertaking requires that everybody work together. But this ceremony happens because one person brings it all together. I dread the day when Ms. DeGree says, "Peter, I don't want to do this anymore," because it is her work that brings all of us together and has us in the right place at the right time. Paulette, thank you very much. And from all the teaching, administration, clerical, and custodial staff of the Crowe, thanks to you, parents, for giving us such a wonderful group of young men and women to work with. Our graduation activities were moved later this year in an attempt to help students keep their focus on academics until later in the year. And when we return to classes on Monday, we have 1 week left to prepare. Graduates, make the best use of your time. Ladies and gentlemen, the recessional will follow immediately. Goodbye, graduates. Good luck and Godspeed. We would ask that you please that you, wait a minute, we'll get your hats and then I'll ask you this. Mr. Grease, that wasn't in the script. No, I didn't think so. We'd ask that you please stand for the Queen and remain standing for the recessional.